Hi, thank you for joining me. In previous videos, I talked about what mental illness is and how it works. In this video, I'm going to talk about how society impacts on our mental health. Mental illness occurs for many reasons. Sometimes the reason isn't clear, but there is an awful lot of mental illness around. I don't think it's that there's more of it around now. It's just that in the past it wasn't recognised or talked about and it was kept hidden away. One of the reasons there's so much mental illness around is because of society. Expectations are high, and human thinking errors have created big problems. Society sees mental illness as a problem, but it doesn't see the part it plays in it. Social pressure and not feeling good enough is fueling the rise in depression, anxiety, eating disorders, and addictions. A lot of it comes down to image. How we're seen by others and proving our worth, because that makes up such a big part of how you feel about yourself. It's very hard to feel good about yourself when you don't feel valued. The demands that society makes on us and the pressure it puts on us to be perfect is so big. Not surprisingly, people feel inadequate when they can't live up to that image, so they become depressed and anxious. But society blames them when they become ill, so they feel like even more of a failure. Society is incredibly judgmental. There is this blame and shame culture. It's like, if you get ill, it's because you're weak. You did it to yourself. If you haven't reached this point by a certain age, you're a loser. And the attitude of you're not acceptable unless you do what society expects. This is causing more mental illness, because all it does is create discontentment and self-esteem issues. The media doesn't help us to feel good either, because it's just constantly feeding us things to feel inadequate about. There's the whole body image and this ideal picture of what you're supposed to do and achieve in your life, and it's very damaging psychologically. There is something called status anxiety, which is a fear of being seen as unsuccessful, of low status, or unimportant. This is a very common problem, and it's happening because we're being judged all the time. There is a deep sense of shame in being low on the scale of worth and importance. Shame is an awful thing to feel. A lot of people are self-critical anyway, and society just demands too much of us. We fall short because expectations are not in line with reality. We're almost being set up to fail because society creates this problem, but then doesn't want to acknowledge it and turns it back on us. It doesn't allow for the fact that people get sick, they lose their job, things happen to us. We become easily stressed because life is busy and fast-paced. We don't get much time to stop, and there's the constant worry about making enough money. But constant ongoing stress makes people ill. You need to be able to stop and unwind. Your body and your brain have to rest. Society needs to realise what a human being really is. It needs to start recognising human need and accept the fact that we're not perfect. We have all been wrongly and unfairly judged by other people. Illness in general is heavily judged in society. Mental illness even more so. Everyone has to play their part in creating a more fair and realistic society. That means holding back on judgment and being open-minded. It's like the saying, do as you want to be done by. For that to happen, attitudes and expectations need to change. Talking about it is essential. Remember, talking saves lives. Silence takes lives. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for watching. See you next time.